Why does a man think his heart is in his ass? A hypothesis by what appears to be a physical female, but in other places might not be right now. Um, um, it's complicated. Why do some men think their hearts are in their bums? Is that like a man's way of saying he feels like shit? Nonsense. So the man feels like shit, does he? Because his heart's in his bum, or does he think there's someone or something crapping on his emotions, or does he associate love and intimacy with his man parts or his butt parts? By the way, for the record, women don't do that. Okay? There was a joke someone told once that looked like that on the surface to someone, but it's actually about a dude. No, really, read the subtext. It's sarcasm. Anyway, okay. Why do some men think their hearts are in their bums? Women don't think that. Women don't associate their hearts with their bums. And not all men associate their hearts with their bums either. Men who know that they have complex emotions, that, like take for example, when a man observes his sister, so if a man has a sister, he'll he'll sit there and go, oh, he loves his sister. She's a bit of a character. Oh, she's always been a bit of a funny one in this area, but mostly she's all right, and she got her shit together eventually, and he's proud of her, and or he's worried about her boyfriend's no good for her or whatever, right? Okay, whatever he's thinking. Oh, she really needs to change her dress style. That doesn't suit her. Like, okay, a brother might think that about his sister because siblings do think about each other and he have feelings to go with it, like pride or care and concern or love or something like that. And when he does so, he doesn't get this tingle in his manberry or his butt plug that tells him that, oh, she's a woman and therefore he has to, boinky, boinky, boink. He doesn't. If you're a man out there, you know that when you look at your sister, you go, don't want to see that naked. Yuck. Like Maggie yuck, that's gross. Yeah. Right? Okay. Mega yuck, that's disgusting. Yeah. Likewise, when a woman sees her brother, she goes, you're gross, okay? Like, okay, you'll probably find that siblings can look at each other and have an aesthetic appreciation for each other, but anything beyond me, that painting looks nice level stuff, is yuck. Like, they really don't like that. At all. They even have a feeling for it called, ew! Gross! So, what happens when a man thinks his heart is in his butt? Does he start thinking that his sister... Oh, she's a bit alright. No. Even then, he doesn't do that. What happens then? She's a bitch. She makes him feel like shit. Okay, so when a man's heart's in his butt, he might think his sister's a bitch and she makes him feel like shit. Okay, right. What if she wasn't acting like one? Ah, then he's got a delusion. Okay, what if she were? And his heart wasn't in his butt, his heart was in his chest where it belonged. What would happen then? um, he'd probably overlay it with some kind of bias and think that his sister wasn't all that bad and he was just overreacting. But if she kept it up, he'd get annoyed and tell her off. Right. So, what's going on with men's bums then? Because the paranoia seems to come from his bums. Based on that logic, a bloke seems to be able to negotiate emotions fairly well. He doesn't associate it with his butt. Do women associate their height with their butt? Don't really think so. Like, how many of their bus girlfriends they wind up in lesbian relationships with? None of them, unless they're actually gay. Right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Why would someone's heart be associated with their butt? Because someone made them feel like shit. Right. So, if someone made them feel like shit, okay, then, thanks for the logic, by the way, wherever that came from, your head. That's for the audience. Let them think you're fucking old mate and crazy old bitch. Why not? Okay, so if okay, if they did that, would you think? Don't worry about it. That's the point. Don't worry about it. If you thought that your heart was your butt, is that a symptom of what they call hypersexuality? Is that what hypersexuality is about? Like, not saying there's any going on, just saying it needs to be asked as a psychological question. Are there people who claim to have hypersexuality and what they're saying is that their heart was in their butt? Mm-hmm. They're looking for stronger emotional connections with other people. They're full of feelings and sentiments. They're a little on the bipolar side, maybe. But they're somehow turning into, oh, fucking hell. Oh, what a hot ass. Gotta tap that. Gotta tap it whether they want it or not. Oh, I have to have them. So horny. Right? Okay? Okay? So, a person, but in this case we'll say a bloke who's done that, probably has some kind of social conditioning that says that men are hornbags. Right? Okay? And if he wants a woman, you got to tap that. Okay? There's a lot of blokes who don't have that. And when they found out there's a bloke that was like that, they get a bit weirded out by it. You also got to watch out for the people who don't have a sense of humour, okay? It turned out there was someone who was studying psychology once and was in their final year at uni, who wrote a book called Free to Stare, and there's a video on that, who just so happened to make a joke. And people don't always get jokes. But when someone studies psychology, they might notice that, or they might not. And that they might go, yeah, the ex-husband, right? Right? The ex-husband was a bit like that. He was replacing. He was and they might not, they might have had to process what that guy was doing. Maybe that's what that story was about. Maybe you want to psychoanalyze that story that was about the ex-husband in his uh, issues, and an artistic means to get out complicated emotions associated with said ex-husband and what he was all about. So wasn't about the goddess at all. It was about the ex-husband. Um, but also not quite. And so that's the thing about stories, is that everyone can read a story and see something different in it. So, do you think your heart's in your butt? Do you people out there think your heart's in your butt? Why would your heart be in your butt for? You look at people's behaviour. There are people who've been absolutely fucking crapped on. Like, crapped on. Okay? And it's just unfucking believable. The amount of insanity that I've copped. It's just unbelievable. The kind of fears that they have to fucking process. Well, they get made to process because of stupid situations they didn't actually create. And you just go, fucking hell. Talk about grace under fucking pressure. Talk about enormous amounts of fucking patience. Talk about someone who just day after day after day after week after week after month after year just goes, it appears to be like this, they just solve. Okay, that one needs that one. That one needs that one. Solve. And you go, yeah, Esmond Esoterist would probably say, oh, their root chakra is fucked because some arsehole was rude to them, right? So their arsehole got sore. And you go, okay then. Oh, you think they're too analytical or something like that? They're too headstrong. Then why are they going to the effort of giving a shit all day, every fucking day, young day, giving a shit about all these people sorting out all this fucking stuff because it's not theirs and they got crapped on, but they have to sort it out anyhow, right? And they care and they try to do it diligently, day after day after day after day, week after week after week after week, month after month, year after year. That ain't arsehole. That ain't head. That's heart. Because to be that fucking patient without turning into a cynical, narcissistic dog turd prick takes someone genuinely fucking caring. Congratulations to those people in the world for having a lot of heart but being told your arsehole was full of shit. Well done. And you know the women are the ones that do that a lot? They're not the only ones that do it. There are some women who've never done it. There are some women who give up. They turn to grog or whatever it might be. Okay? Just like some men do. But the women, when they do that, Jesus fucking Christ. The patience. The absolute patience. And if you hear a bad word out of them, it'll be towards someone who deserves it every single time. Or because they got frustrated because everyone was having a crack at them too much. And everyone gets to have a bad day, including those saintly people. You know, the good kind. The ones that have saint meant good person that actually deserve the title. I don't know to say to them, oh, fucking hyper-analytical oil fucking head, or their arseholes are full of crap, or they're fucking ugly, or they're this, or they're fucking that. When all they do is just soul for the betterment of everyone, not just them. Dunno, that might imply giving a shit. That's what heart's for. Not just arsehole. We say arsehole is about giving a shit, because that's where shit comes from. But actually caring is your heart. If that helps some blokes out there, then it does. If it doesn't, then it doesn't.